All right, we've got it ready from both players. This is a best of 5 winner take all Classic Tetris Monthly Masters Finals, February 2020. Koryan, an 11, 12, I don't know, 11 billion time winner of CTM, and Richard has also won it. And this is an amazing matchup. So let's go ahead. Let's reset the music back to everybody wants the OG CTM music. There it is. That's what we like. We got it ready from both. Let's count it down. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Yeah, why can't Richard afford lights? That's okay. Oh, thanks so much for the gift sub, Ensign. Awesome, thank you so much. Oh, hey, Sue's here. Sue's here, everyone. Sue wants to watch the finals. Even Sue, who doesn't care about Tetris at all, wants to see Koryan and Richard. All right. Identical 45,600 scores for both players. Koryan, 68,400. Richard has taken a burn. So already Koryan's got the better pace. Another Tetris, Koryan, 91,000, 50,000 for Richard. Richard waiting on a long bar. There it is. A bang Tetris for Richard. Oh, Koryan's pace has gone from 1.5 to 1.4, everyone. All right, bang Tetris for Koryan. 116 for him, 120 for Richard. Richard is a few lines ahead into the future. A little Z Spire for Koryan. Trying to get this all cleared down. All right, Richard kind of dependent on the left side, but gets the perfect pieces to clear all this down. No complaints about RNG during that. 126 for Richard, 167 for Koryan. All right, there's a triple for Koryan. Let's see if he opts to burn this away. Yeah, see, Koryan will take his burns to get a clean board. Kind of the modern style sometimes is to not do that. Play for a little bit off the bottom, but Koryan will take his burns. And identical scores right now, identical line count. But here's a couple of quick Tetrises from Richard. 224 for him, 178 for Koryan. It's Koryan's turn to get a little droughted, but bang Tetris for him, 201. Yeah, that's the sort of the paradox of Koryan is he will take burns that you think, oh, these are too conservative, but he ends up with these just monstrous paces. So, I mean, he just plays super flat, super efficiently, and is able to make up for those burns. So, I mean, incredible. 252 Koryan, 293 for Richard. Pretty identical in long bars, at least in terms of their number, if not distribution. We don't have that displayed. Because, you know, what you really need to see all that? Come on now. I guess we could put long bar count on there. But it's just like one more crop, right? And OBS crash is enough, right? Okay, 320 Koryan, 322 for Richard. So neck and neck. And the necks have not made an appearance. But there they are, neck and neck. Two of the most famous necks in Tetris. 343 for Koryan, 324 for Richard. Yes, all necks are welcome here. All right, Richard taking a nice safety double down the right side before a Tetris. 389 Koryan, and here's a Tetris for each. 374 for Richard. And a couple more Tetrises. 434 Koryan, 397 for Richard. A Tetris on level 18 is worth 22,800 points. For those of you who are new, it's basically the level times 1200, and level 0 is a level, so that you have to count that in there. So like level 1 is really level 2. Hashtag busted game. 460 for Koryan, 447 for Richard. And keeping pace with one another. Transition is coming up quick. It kind of happened fast. 130 line transition to level 19 from 18, and the speed at which the pieces fall from the top to the bottom increases by 50%. So it is punishing, it is unforgiving, and only really the best players in the world can play competently on 19 for an extended period of time. And certainly both of these players fall in that bucket. So 554 Koryan, 539 from Richard. Richard, 128, 2 lines away from transition. Little bit of awkwardness in his stack, so see how he contends with this. Oh, and Koryan is up high, and Koryan's going to top out at 559. 559 top out for Koryan. I totally missed it, but because I was watching Richard, and I totally missed what happened, but it looks like he built up the center of his stack, so Richard needs to get to 560. And it looks like that is something he should be able to do pretty easily. Yeah, it just kept going up and up and up. Didn't take a burn or didn't have an opportunity to do it because it looks like the middle. And I think Richard just needs couple more scoring plays here. And that double for a perfect clear is going to do it for Richard. Knows exactly what he needed to get. Perfect clear. And then tops out. So hype. Richard with the heart. Where is it? There it is. Richard up 1-0 over the godfather of competitive classic Tetris, Koryan. And he's the godfather mainly because he's kind of old. Because, you know, I think he got into this only in about 2015, right? So really, it wasn't around a long time. But he's an old man, just like I am. And it's okay. All right, let's get a ready from both players. He's a young. That's true. Koryan's only 19. He's 1 year older than me. Ready from both. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. He's not the grandfather. He's the godfather. Richard is 42. Koryan is 23. I'd buy that. What's going on, Cheesy Fish? Richard up 1-0 in a best-of-5 finals here. Classic Tetris Monthly Masters, February 2020. 14 players maxed out. And the game just feeding Richard a diet of S pieces, and was building the spire, and kind of great control and discipline not to continue building up that spire because it is very tempting. It almost hypnotizes you into wanting to build that spire. So Richard with some tough RNG right now bangs a Tetris down the right side. That's going to help just clear his stack down. And yeah, Richard contending with some really rotten RNG, and that misdrop did not help things out. All right, he's going to get a double here. That's going to take some pressure off his stack, and looks to be out of the danger zone. So 58,000 for Richard, 98,000 for Koryan. Richard actually has more long bars than Koryan, but RNG is a bit more subtle than how many long bars you get. Because like, when do you get them, and what other pieces come out, and what's your board look like, and all that. 121 Koryan. He Tetris is 144. Richard with a triple down the right side. And his stack is almost drilled back down to the bottom. Richard's a tapper. Unapologetic tapper. But they all should apologize. They've broken Tetris. These tappers are ruining Tetris. All right, oh, cats are sneezing. Yeah, I felt it from over here too. Cat was like 5 feet away, and I got cat snot on my ankle. So, you know. 171 for Koryan, 85,000 for Richard. Oh, people are saying, bless you, kitty cat. Yeah, kind of a drought for Richard right now. But he's, you know, you can't just say, well, I got a drought, so I lose, right? You've got to mitigate that. So 221 for, I mean, a drought is always, you know, it's always right there waiting to infect your game. And you can't just say, well, I got a drought, therefore I lose. 222 Koryan, 158 for Richard. 40 Twok says, suffering intensifies. That's right. You've got to push through the burning. Oh my god. We have had no death-defying vertical long bar slides this entire tournament, so that's one place where we could have done better, so I apologize to everybody watching. 231 Koryan, bang Tetris for him, 254, 206, and another Tetris for Richard, 229. So Richard is back down to the bottom, clean board. Getting set up again. Koryan Tetris is 277. Richard now almost ready. Getting a couple long bars when he's like one piece away. Trying not to burn any. You can tell he's trying not to burn to try to stay efficient, but in that time there was a couple opportunities for him to have built up for a Tetris. So that did cost him some pace there in the name of efficiency, but that, you know, obviously you can't predict. So he has lost some pace here. He's down by about 67,000 from Koryan. Koryan Tetris is again. Richard not in a position to answer back. So 351 Koryan, 266 for Richard. Koryan up by over 100,000 points. This is not a new position for Richard to find himself in, and he has beaten Koryan on a couple of different games. Most particularly the month that Richard actually won. Oh, a little spin there for Koryan. You know, you don't often see Koryan having to do spins because he builds so cleanly. And very rare misdrops. So Koryan is not... I mean, Koryan can do all the spins. Obviously. But you very rarely see him have to do them. 299 for Richard. 407 for Koryan. Richard getting up high. Clears away the right side. And he's got a line dependency. If he can get it, he can burn this down. Getting the pieces. Yeah. Oof. Almost out of the woods. All right, Richard needs a long bar. It's painful. This is so painful. I mean, the concentration that it must take. And Richard is just not able to dig his way out of this situation. And Koryan is good. No, this is why we play 5. You know, best of 5. Did I appropriate it? I mean, it's just in another language. I think I picked it up initially playing poker, because a lot of folks in poker rooms speak Chinese, or that, you know, in the Aya, all the Chinese players would do it. And then when it came back up again during the CTWC, was it Hong Kong exhibition? Then they started doing it there, and it somehow it's cemented in my mind. So I think it's great. I also do some Yiddish stuff too, so I appropriate from everyone. All right, we need a ready from Richard and Koryan. It's what was once a best of 5 is now a best of 3. And we got ready, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Yeah, it's appreciation. Yeah, I don't accept the concept of appropriation. All right, Richard on the board with the first Tetris. Yeah, let's all talk about politics and culture. All right, bang Tetris for Richard, and there's one for Koryan. 49,000 for Koryan, 69,000. Heyo for Richard. I'm just stealing. Here's what I'm appropriating is all of these Kingsmanisms, right? Hangarang, heyo, or hey now, or whatever he does. That's what I'm appropriating. Hangarang is really good. Listen, Kingsman is such an original. I mean, he's derivative of me, of course, but also an original. 57,000 for Koryan. Now Tetris is 80,000 for him. 139 for Richard. So Richard, pretty sizable lead here. Identical line count. So everyone should watch Kingsman 36. It's just like, you know, I used to call Sharky the hardest working man in Tetris. But I got to admit, it's kind of Kingsman right now. Kingsman, hardest working man in Tetris. It's like the James Brown of Tetris. 127 Koryan, 209 for Richard. Oh, how Kingsman says dirty. All right, next time there's a dirty Tetris, if there is one, I'll try it. I'll try to say it like Kingsman. Yeah, I agree. Kingsman and Sharky at CTWC would be great. I love the guys we have now, but listen, those two would be great too. 157 Koryan. There's a Tetris. 180 for him. There's a Tetris for Richard. 239. So Richard, early pace going here. He's got a stew going. All right, so there's some good down stacking from Richard. Very focused, very present. All right, there's a Tetris for Koryan. 248. Koryan has the lead now. 249 Richard. Oh, Richard takes it back. So pretty darn close. Yeah, Richard sort of in a little bit of a situation. All right, Koryan with another Tetris. 299, and Richard just kind of stuck in a dig. And there he is, Richard, finally cleared down to the bottom, and you can tell he's happy about it. I mean, look at that man's face. Look at the joy. 345 for Koryan, 315 for Richard. But Richard ahead by about 7 lines in the future, so Koryan's got about 6 lines to work with over Richard. Celebration head. Celebration head Bob. Very good. Celebration head Bob. Richard is epic. Daniel has a great memory for these events that I do not have. I just don't like. I can't recall. Like, oh, remember Game 3 of this month? Oh man, I can't remember anything like that. 438 Koryan, 388 Richard. Tetris Richard 411. Koryan answers back, and another one for Koryan. So 484. Koryan's got like 16 lines to go till transition. That could be 4 Tetrises. Most likely will be 3. So that would put him at a low to mid 500s transition. 457 for Richard, meanwhile. You can get 2 more. No, he has to take a double, so you can get 1 more before transition, which would give him a sub 500 transition. I keep saying the word transition. All right, Richard transitions at 462, gets a Tetris immediately after. Koryan kind of setting up in the center. No, he's going to take the triple, the safety triple. And this is why Koryan is so consistent, because he's just willing to take those burns. And a lot of other players say, no, I'm going to ride this center well. I'm going to go with it. And he's like, no, I'd rather just have a relatively clean board going into transition and take my chances there. And when you can play 19 at a pace like Koryan, I mean, why not? So 590 for Koryan, especially when he has the lead. There's just no reason to go crazy like that. 618 Koryan, 570 for Richard. Richard Tetris is 596. There's been no dirty Tetrises since that time. So how am I going to do the Kingsman? Now don't set one up intentionally, guys. Please do not. Oh no, Koryan with a rare hang-a-rang. And let's see if he can get out of this. And no, Koryan is going to top out. It could be just it's really early in Japan. But Richard is good, so Richard gets the heart. Oh, I missed a dirty one? Sorry. It happens. I don't even know if I can. I mean, I can't even. I mean, Kingsman is so legendary. It would be almost disrespectful to the man himself for me to even attempt. So Richard is going. Richard in a rhythm. I think he's trying to get that 1.3 here, but going the full bend. No, he's not going the full bend. All right, there we go. All right, GG's from Richard. Let's get a ready. And we got GG's from Koryan. So, how much is a full bend mullen? It's the whole way, man. The half mullen? Oh, he did kind of the half mullen. All right, Richard up 2 games to 1 in this, the Classic Tetris Monthly Masters Event Finals for February 2020. It's a best of 5. You got a ready from Richard. Need a ready from Mr. Koryan. I didn't see it if it's already there. So, oh, we got the ready. There it is. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Is there a website with the history of every CTM? Unfortunately, kind of not. Soon. We're working on it. I'm working really hard. I'm working on it right now, actually. Hear that? I'm coding the website as we speak. All right, couple Tetrises from Koryan. Richard with his first one. All right, another Tetris for Koryan, 91,000 for him. Richard at 58,000. Koryan has to win 2 in a row he wants to reclaim his CTM crown. But, you know, maybe he doesn't want to. No, he does. All right, there it is. Bang, Tetris for Koryan. $140 for him, 88,000 for Richard. Oh, there's a cat in here. And that cat better chill out. Koryan getting up high here. Oh no. Oh no, what is happening to Koryan? Yeah. This is going to take some concentration, but Koryan very nearly topped out. He is ahead, but this is very delicate situation for Koryan. It looks like he's out of immediate danger, but okay. Whew. Unbelievable clear down from Koryan. Concentration at like 6 in the morning, and you can see the stress leaving his body right there. Woof. I mean, Koryan, unbelievable competitor. The concentration it takes to get through that, you know, wow. 224 for Koryan, 214 for Richard. Koryan behind in lines by a couple, and Koryan is set up for a Tetris. Bang, Tetris for Koryan, and another one for Koryan. So Richard here in the meantime with a really not ideal board, not generally what you're going for. Does nice to keep a piece over on the right instead of putting it in a place where it kind of would look pretty on the left side, but it would really mess up your ability to get a piece over. So good discipline from Richard here, and it looks like he's going to be able to clear this down. 266 for him. Oh, somebody quoting, oh yeah, there are dirty Tetrises. I can't even try to imitate Kingsman would take me out of this moment. And I just want to stay in this moment. So 365 for Koryan, 275 for Richard. And just Richard and, you know, just a dig, and he cannot get his stack where he wants it. He's got some gaps over on the left side, so he's got a clear channel down the right side. But let's see if he decides to build on top of it. And he is, well, no, he's not going to be able to do that because he's built for a triple, really. So he does that. Now he could set up a Tetris, but probably the safest thing to do. But, I mean, he's so far behind right now. So Koryan's 435. Richard at 298. But probably best to just clear this down and then take your chances on 19. And we've seen that, you know, Koryan is human and can top out. All right, so Richard is set up on the left. Going to give this a shot. Gets a long bar over. No problem. Let's see if he continues to ride this, or he's going to try to find an L piece to tuck in there. Doesn't get it. And he's just going to have to clear this down. You can see it did not go as planned. But, yeah, the pieces have a way of ruining even the best players' plans. 505 for Koryan. Another Tetris. He's 10 lines away from transition. Richard is going to have to shore up his board because he is 11 lines away from transition. And he's got just about that many to clear down to the bottom. Would love to be really no more than 3 or 4 from the bottom of the board when he transitions. 574 Koryan, 336, so 240,000 point lead for Koryan. But really, we've seen Richard come out of this kind of stuff before, and it's almost as if Richard is more comfortable on 19 than he is at the slower level on 18. But still, Richard kind of stuck on this left side. No, he's going to clear it down with a triple. And Koryan, oh no, Koryan's in trouble. Koryan is going to top out at 576. Richard needs to get to 577. He's up 2 games to 1. It's all in his hands. He needs 203,000 points. And he's got plenty of runway to do this. Can't line it out, obviously, but he can do this. Needs to get to 577. One of the problems with your opponent topping out early is it makes you check your score, but, you know, and so you kind of, your attention gets split a little bit. So let's see what Richard is able to do here. It's all in his hands. Needs to get to 577. And all Koryan can do is just watch and laugh. I mean, clearly Koryan wants to win, but a good sport. All right, Richard gets a Tetris over to the left side, so probably wants to clear this down, get back to safety, because he's got room and time. All right, so he's going to drill this back down. Needs another 77,000 points. That's about 3 Tetrises. There's one of them, 529. There's a triple down the right side just to keep his stack in order. Has plenty of time. And a little bit dicey for Richard. Gets a nice long bar to fill in some stuff in his stack here. And, oh, that long bar is going to help right here. He's building for it. He's going to go for it, like, right now. And he gets a long bar, and that's 576, and he just needs his triple. And Richard has taken CTM Masters for February 2020. 3 games to 1 over Koryan. Early top out from Koryan. Early for Koryan. In the post-transition game, Richard is good and is now a repeat champion of Classic Tetris Monthly Masters event. Koryan, you know, always a favorite to come in here and just barrel his way through the field, but not an easy row to hoe in this field, which featured 14 max out qualifiers, probably the toughest field we've ever had. And Richard comes through and takes the finals from Koryan 3 games to 1. And look at this. Richard, empty chair. A winner is you, my friend. Go sit in that chair, my dude. Go sit in that chair. There he is with the portal gun thing there. He's shooting portals. There he is. 2-time CTM champion. Richard, a.k.a. Brenny_KFT. Wow. What an event. Some incredible matches. And there he is. Look at this. He smiles. Somebody said Richard never smiles. Here's proof that he does. And by the way, can we say, forget the portal gun. Look at these guns. I mean, this guy's got some biceps here. I mean, look at those, Sue. I mean, those are pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, he
Jeez.
out, clearly.
Yeah, clearly he works out. So, wow. Yeah, look at him. There he is right there. Of course, that one's a little bit bigger than the other one, but never mind. All right, well, I want to thank everybody who watched this. This is one of my favorite ever CTMs to do. An incredible lineup, an incredible matchup in the finals, and just amazing games all the way throughout. So thank you so much to everyone who made this possible. Number one, to the fans who show up every month, whatever it is, every month to watch this stuff. We wouldn't be able to do it if it weren't for you. I want to thank Adam, Trey, and Vince for letting us squat on their real estate every so often. Much appreciated. I want to thank our wonderful moderator team and our tournament staff. You know who you are. If you want to know who these people are, join our Discord server. You want to throw the Discord server in the link. These guys are not. This is not an invitation-only tournament. We don't say only you can join. If you can put up a score, you can play in this tournament maybe next month. So go ahead and hop over to the Discord. If you're new, find out what it takes to join. It's not that hard. There's a little stencil, there's a little procedure, but it's really not that hard. And we've got a tournament for everybody, so you do not have to be one of the best players in the world. We had 100 qualifiers just about this month, and we've got a tournament for every single one of them, all the way from the 1.2 Joseph 1.2 million, all the way down to people who scored in the hundreds, 100,000. So awesome. So, all right, I think that's going to do it for this. If I forgot to thank anybody, you know that you're thanked, right? Like, you don't have to be all hard about it. You know we love you. So let us go ahead and, I mean, it's early in the day, so really, not a lot of people streaming Tetris. We're going to send this over. Who are we gonna raid? I know who we're going to raid. Not a lot of people playing right now. This is who we're raiding. Let them know, I don't know, what do we want to tell them? There was something earlier that I forget was a really good raid thing to say, but I don't even remember what it was, so... oh my god, there are lights! Let there be light. You can go say, let there be light. In Wumbo stream. Here we go, we're raiding Wumbo. Just say, let there be light. We're sending to Wumbo. Because why not?